When last we saw our SCHMOEVIVOR contestants, they had swapped tribes. Now, after many eliminations, it is time for the tribes to merge.
We are off to the merge. All of our remaining contestants living on one beach together on the Schmoedown tribe. No more managers, no more players. It is every man, woman, and manager for themselves. You know, this would probably be a good point. The breakdown is actually very interesting, where we have 5 players left. The only player that's left the game so far is Andrew Guy, lose winner pick. We have 5 announcers left. Only Brad Gilmore has been voted out from the announcers, despite Rachel Cushing and Frank Janish feuding with each other since day one. Mm-hmm. And the only managers remaining are Coy and Tom. Lou and Daniel, you had your winners picks knocked out pretty early on. You guys care to reevaluate who your horse is in this race?
Yeah, I'll start. Rachel. I'll stick with Rachel.
Jumping on with Soda for Rachel Cushing to take it all. Daniel, tell us why Marisol is going to win this game.
Okay, well, I was doing some counting here while Lou was deciding, and I see 6 and 6. We've got Brendan, Coy, Jen, Mark, Perry, Rachel. Those are your good characters. And then the villains would be Chandru, Frank, Jessica, Marisol, Stacy, and Tom. 6 versus 6. And I know Brendan has made a lot of friends. I know Jessica has made some enemies. I know Tom has definitely made some enemies. And I think I am going to land on Marisol, mostly because I am the corruption guy, and I think that like she hasn't stepped on anyone's toes at least during like the voting, and she hasn't been in many arguments with anyone, so I think she has the right amount of both like allies and not a lot of enemies, so she can really work some more like corruption, some deception, if you will.
See, I would argue against that in the sense that she's a very big physical threat, and they sometimes get voted on very early because if not, they're hard to stop with some momentum in the later episodes. So I actually think Marisol McKee might be in danger because she's a challenge beast of what we can see before.
Well, that's enough speculating about it. Soda, you still going for Rachel Cushing?
Oh yeah,
you still think? Yeah,
I still think it's Rachel all the way.
And I'm still standing strong with the kid. I think again, like the Schmoedown, Survivor will be the kids to win. But enough talking about it. Let's see what's happening on the beach now that all our players are together. All right, something I forgot was even going to happen in this season at the merge.
Ah, true.
At the merge, there was a massive feast to celebrate all the players coming together, and hidden amongst the bananas and the breads and the other foods was a secret advantage. And who should find it but Frankie Numbers himself, the guy who's been feuding with Rachel Cushing since day one. They're back together now, and he needs every advantage he can to take her out. What he's found is an extra vote that can be used up until the final 6. The twist, though, is that in order to gain the power of that extra vote, at this next tribal council, he has to forego voting.
You see, this is interesting because we all know in the merge anything can happen, right? And even if you have an advantage or immunity idol, people will kind of like flock around you, and like it's kind of a buying power to form an early alliance at the merge if you do it correctly. So Frank Janish might actually find himself being in the back end of his tribe to be probably a top dog with that advantage.
I agree. And he was on the loser tribe that just kept losing with Marisol and Stacy and Perry. He was fighting with Rachel, who was very popular on the manager's tribe. I'm excited to see where this goes. And if he does sacrifice his vote, we won't know until Tribal Council.
I think this is the best time to sacrifice a vote because, one, it makes even if it was a decision between two people, there won't be a tie in votes because there are 11 people voting. And I just think that, like, this is kind of the last round where you could forego a vote and still assume yourself safe.
Makes sense. All right.
Frankie Numbers kind of reminds me of Denise Stapley. There's always, like, every time there's a fucking council, he's always there. He's seen it all. Like Stapley.
Denise was a winner, for those who don't know. Went to every Tribal Council in her season. Every single one. Good for her. Never got voted out. She went to every tribal.
She might have won the show, but do you consider that a winner when she was on every losing challenge team?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. The morale of that person must be so down. Yes, you have.
Yeah. And she was a sex therapist, so that was a lot of fun. This has been your Survivor update in the SCHMOEVIVOR series. All right, let's move along. We are being reminded of who has the hidden immunity idols, that being Brendan Meyer. Frank has his secret advantage that he doesn't have to tell anyone about. And then Jessica and Rachel both have hidden immunity idols, meaning if they play them correctly, they will not be able to be voted out once. All right, now we get down to the alliances. And we're going to see people who have not been together in a long time reuniting and coming back together.
Nice.
So Jessica and Rachel, they haven't seen each other since the swap, and they are both still loyal to each other at a 5. Soda, are they happy to see each other?
Yeah, I'd say so. Familiar people and what have you. So it's always nice to have your friends close.
I didn't even realize this. This might be the most powerful alliance because both of them have hidden immunity idols.
Ooh, that's true.
Yeah.
Next group that's reuniting is Coy Jandrew and Tom Dagnino. Remember, Tom isolated himself, and Coy, he stuck his hand out and said, I'll be your friend, Tom. Made his whole tribe turn against him. But you know what? They're the last two standing. The numbers didn't matter.
Yeah.
Daniel, are they going to be successful now that they've reunited?
See, I think I'm not sure how they're going to convince other people because they've only really been involved in their alliance. And other than that, like, there are no managers left, so at least Tom's enemies are all gone. But, like, they don't have a lot of friends around, I don't think.
But there's an advantage of being the swing votes. They can be the swing votes, like the two people that you need to bring on a tribe, but next they integrate themselves. It could go against or for them. We've seen it often on different seasons, but they could be a swing, and being swing is important sometimes.
And someone who might want to use them as a swing vote, the Sassy Guild, the three amigos, Brendan, Perry, and Stacy. Also, none of them were together. They got put on 3 separate tribes, and they all survived. Lou, this is the biggest group we have officially. How do you think these 3 are going to be able to operate? Are they going to be targeted right away, or are they going to run the game?
I actually think Stacy might separate and join someone else, and Brendan Meyer and Perry Namiroff might be fucked after. I don't think this is gonna last, and I think it's gonna be because of Stacy.
The sassiest member turning on the sassy guild. Not something I'd like to see, but maybe she looks around and says, "Wait a minute, I'm in an alliance with two quirky mercs. They're gonna take each other over me." Mm-hmm. Now we get to not our biggest alliance, but our most loyal alliance. Every other alliance is rated at a 5, but Mark Ellis and Tom Dagnino rated at an 8 loyalty. This is really the crew. Soda, quickly going to come to you before we jump into the next to our challenges. Do you think Tom can convince Mark, hey, my buddy Koi's pretty cool, and he could merge these two alliances?
No, that's what I was just thinking. Is like, why are there two separate Tom Dagnino alliances? Why not merge them together? And yeah, I think Tom could easily convince Ellis because they've got, even though it is Tom Dagnino, they do have that history there. They've been through a lot, and Koi, they both know Koi, and they know that he is very loyal, and it would make a good third member of their triumvirate.
I would be excited to see that crew go up against the Sassy Guild. But let's see what's up next. I think this is an immunity challenge, but it might be a reward. It is immunity, and Frankie Numbers has one immunity. Sorry. No more tribe immunities, only individual immunities. One person wins immunity. Lou, Frank Janish wins immunity. He got that extra vote. What do you think about that?
He's just become the most desperate player to the probably most valuable one. You don't care if you have immunity and you have to forego your vote. You know you're not going home. So you're definitely taking the advantage, and you have 2 extra votes after. This is a time for Janish to collect his people and start doing an alliance for sure.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he uses this to go after his longtime rival, Rachel Cushing?
Honestly, yes. Honestly, and maybe that I shouldn't have picked Rachel because I just doomed Rachel. Anything I pick is doomed. But yeah, I think definitely Rachel might have to look behind her back right now.
I do agree with that if Rachel uses her immunity idol at some point.
Oh,
because I'm worried about Frank deciding to move against her and then her just calling herself immune to a vote.
All right, Frank Janish is immune. Let's head back to the beach and see if he's going to do, him or anyone else is going to do anything else funky. Funky? Who says funky? Nobody.
You do, Dave.
Like a monkey.
Well, first things first, just resetting the stage. Brendan Meyer has an idol. Frank Janish has to sacrifice his vote to get an extra vote. You got to imagine he's going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jessica and Rachel both also have idols. Oh. And Brendan Meyer and Jen Sturger bond slightly.
Okay.
Lou,
of course they do.
Yeah. Lou, what are they bonding over?
I love a poutine.
Basically, he probably just complimented her hair, and she's like, "Hee, thank you." But he was probably just being nice to her, and they probably were walking to the water hole, and they just bonded over how nice he is.
Too bad that Brad Gilmore had not made it to the merge to be with his fine young tenderoni. Too bad. All right.
You can't win them all.
Can't win them all.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. And we talked about this being the most powerful alliance because they both have idols. This alliance is dissolved. Soda, why did Jessica and Rachel break up?
You know what? It could be on a disagreement of some sort. Whose fiance slash husband's better? Really, it could be anything. And I'm sorry for saying that while you were drinking, Lou. I'm glad you didn't spit take.
It wasn't that funny. No.
You bleep that out.
All right. All right.
Oh, okay.
There's a new alliance that has been formed from the Schmoedown tribe. And
Is that Chandru in an alliance?
this is Chandru's. Well, he had a very brief alliance with Brendan Meyer, but this is his first big group Chandru's been a part of. Chandru is also meeting up with Koi Jandrew, Frank Janish, Jessica Sturger, and Perry.
I'm surprised that Nino is not there.
I'm surprised Brendan isn't there, given the fact that Koi and Perry are both here.
Yeah.
But something interesting to consider: Jessica and Rachel break up. Jessica now has a big alliance with Frank, who also fought with Rachel Cushing. Is this weird alternate reality? Is Rachel Cushing, Daniel, I'm asking you, is Rachel Cushing the villain of this story?
Well, she's the villain of Frank's story. A true villain doesn't consider themselves the bad guy.
100%.
The best villains believe they are right the whole time. And this does not look good for Rachel Cushing, but also it might be a round... Actually, I think it might be the perfect round to do this, because that might make her nervous enough to play her idol.
Yeah.
I think this is 5 of the 12 people voting. 11 if Frank sacrifices his vote, which we have to think he will. So I think you gotta play your idol if you're Rachel.
Yeah.
If not, ice water in your veins. Let's head off to Tribal and see if any of that happens, or if we're just talking nonsense. All right. So, we are at the first Tribal Council of the Merge. Brendan Meyer, Jessica Sturger, Rachel Cushing have idols. Frank Janish has an individual immunity idol, meaning everyone is on the table. You can vote for everybody except Frank Janish. As a reminder, you can vote for the people with the hidden immunity idols. They have to know they're getting votes and play it after the votes have been cast in order for it to work properly. Soda, who do you think is in the most trouble here?
Out of everybody? Chandra would be up there just because he hasn't really made any friends.
He did just get in that big alliance.
That's true, but I mean, up until then, he didn't make any friends, right? So that's a strike against him. I could see... Oh, Jesus. Honestly, yeah, Chandra would probably be at my list, and then I probably would say Jessica would be number 2.
Yeah. So both people from the big alliance.
Yeah.
Daniel, what about you? Who's in trouble here?
I think it's Mark and Tom. Big loyalty like that is going to be a deterrent for the rest of the competitors to want to form alliances, because you're not going to get as tight with Mark Ellis as Tom Dagdino is right now. And so it seems like you might want to just toss one of them out now before they can accrue too much power.
Yeah. Lou, quickly, and then let's get to these votes.
Oh, obviously I have to be quick, man.
You know what? Let's make it a 5-hour show. Go ahead.
I simply think quickly it's going to be Marisol McKee, because out of everyone, I really feel like she hasn't made any friends, and we still don't see any activity in when they got merged. So I really think she's the easy vote. Plus, she's a physical threat. So 1 + 1 equals probably in trouble.
Yeah, I think that's a. Oh wow, I think you might have actually just swayed me, Lou. I was gonna say Rachel, but then she plays her idol, and it's whoever she voted for. But what you just said there, Marisol hasn't had a friend in this game since her and Andrew broke up in episode 3.
Wow.
So, like, she was on the loser tribe with Frank and Perry, so maybe there's a bond there. But you might be right. It might be Marisol's time to go. Oh, all right. I'm excited. This is the first tribal in a little bit that I have no idea what's going to happen. I love the merge. All right, let's go. We're going to reset the stage. Brendan, Jessica, and Rachel have hidden immunity idols. Frank has to sacrifice his vote, so he will not vote at this tribal. If he chooses, he has sacrificed his vote. So Frank Janish will not vote. Only 11. Oh, so actually that alliance is only a 4 of the 11 voting. So they really, if they want to decide who's going home, they need friends. So everyone goes up to the voting podium, writes down a name. Christian Harloff goes to get the vote, to get the urn containing the votes. Asks, does anyone want to play their idol? Nobody stands up. All right, nobody's playing their idol. Let's see these votes.
So I'm really interested why nobody has used their idol. Like, that to me is just strange.
Everyone must feel safe, man. Like, that's it.
Maybe.
I think if you're Rachel Cushing, you shouldn't feel safe, but maybe she knows something we don't.
Yeah, I think that's overconfident.
Maybe.
Again, Rachel Cushing, villain of the season.
Yeah, who knew?
Okay, let's go. And first vote,
Oh.
Jen Sturger.
Oh. See, I would have thought Jess, not Jen.
Yeah. Second vote, Tom Dagnino. Maybe Daniel was onto something, because the next vote is for Tom Dagnino.
Yeah.
That's 2 votes Tom, 1 vote Jen, 8 votes left. Takes 6 votes to send you home, or a plurality of. You can do the math, people.
Wait. Okay. Sorry, my bad.
All right.
Next vote, Marisol McKee. So that's 2 votes Tom, 1 vote Jen, 1 vote Marisol. 7 votes left. There's a lot of votes. Remember when there were only 4 people voting?
Yeah.
Next vote, Jen Sturger. So that's
She's screwed. She's screwed.
2 votes Jen, 2 votes Tom, 1 vote Marisol.
But she's in an alliance, right? So I don't, unless someone turns on her alliance.
She's not. Jessica is.
Oh, true. Okay.
Yeah, the other murder.
All right, we're only through half the votes. Let's keep going. Next vote, Marisol McKee. So that's 2 votes Jen,
Wow.
2
What did I
votes
say?
Marisol, 2 votes Tom Dagnino, and we are getting into the first vote of the season territory, where everyone's voting for everybody. 5 votes left. Next vote. Next vote, Marisol McKee.
Ooh.
That's-
She made no connections, and she's a dominant player. It's not a good position.
3 votes Marisol, 2 votes Jen, 2 votes Tom, 4 votes left. Next vote, Jen Sturger. That's 3 Marisol, 3
The
Jen.
next one is Tom. I'd be like, this thing's rigged.
I'm gonna be mad. Well, you know, Christian, he layered the votes for maximum drama. Next vote, Jen Sturger.
Damn.
So that's 4 votes Jen, 3 votes Marisol.
One of the
2.
next 2 has to be Marisol, or Jen's going home.
Oh, no. Both of them could be for Tom, and then we'd have a tie.
I hope not. Come on.
Okay. 2 votes left. If Jen gets 1 more vote, she goes home. There is Marisol McKee.
Wow.
That's 4 votes Marisol, 4 votes Jen, 2 votes Tom, 1 vote left. 7th person voted out of Survivor Schmoedown.
Come on.
It's Marisol McKee.
Wow.
I was fucking right. For once, I'm right.
That's with a final vote of 5 votes Marisol, 4 votes Jen, 2 votes Tom. Marisol, the tribe has spoken. Please mute your microphone and leave the tribal council area immediately. Let's check out how these votes came down, because I actually am really curious.
This is a head scratcher.
So, Brendan voted for Tom Dagnino. He clearly did not get the memo from anybody as to who the real target was. Chandru voted for Jen.
Okay.
He's in that big alliance. Coy voted for Marisol. Interesting that Coy and Chandru are voting differently, because they are both in that big alliance.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Jen voted for Marisol because... Yeah, and then scroll down a little bit too far, you see... Ooh.
That's not good.
Like Highlander, there can be only one.
Oh.
Marisol voted for Jen. I think that's what she thought the plan was.
Okay. I was really worried she was going to come up the other Dagnino vote, and I was like, oh no, did you? You could have made a tie and you didn't? Okay.
But Marisol voted for Jen. You know, that she thought the plan was Jen, but she was the plan. Mark Ellis also voted Marisol McKee. Voting with Tom Dagnino, or not with Tom Dagnino, with whoever. Perry voted for Jen. Interesting, she didn't vote with Brendan. She didn't vote with the Sassy Guild.
Yeah.
Oh, but you know what? She did vote with her new big alliance.
So she has 2 alliances, though.
She does. She's playing a dangerous game. Rachel Cushing, villain of the season, votes out Marisol McKee. So she voted with... we're going to get back to tribal and figure this out, because everyone's voting for everybody here.
Yeah.
And then Stacy was the other vote for Tom Dagnino. She and Brendan, they wanted Tom Dagnino out. Maybe they wanted Coy all to themselves.
Maybe.
Potentially.
And then Tom Dagnino was the last vote for Marisol McKee. So that's it. Marisol McKee, unfortunately, the merge boot of Survivor Schmoedown.
So long, Marisol. Lady Justice was not on your side.
It was not. Dan, I'm sorry to see your winner pick go.
Again.
Right? I really wanted Marisol to come out of this, but oof.
All right, now we are into the most interesting part of the game. So starting from this point, before this point, everyone who's been voted out, they've got to go on a lovely all expenses paid vacation to like Australia or Fiji or Panama or wherever. Starting now, the people voted out will be placed on the jury, who will stay in a hotel in Fiji where they're playing, and they'll come and watch every tribal council to help decide at the end which of the final 3 contestants they want to vote for and award the $1 million prize.
Oh,
So
this
now,
should be interesting.
so now it gets interesting where you got to stab someone in the back and get them to still give you the money. Daniel, this is the last time that I'm going to ask for someone's winner pick after this. But now that we're into the jury phase, who do you got? Are you going to jump on the Cushing train with these guys, or are you going to go somewhere else?
I'm going somewhere else. And if I get this one wrong, honestly, just vote me out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna think that Frank Janisch manages to put this newfound alliance to some definitely smart plays. He's got to get Rachel out, and he needs his friends to do it.
I actually changed my choice to Frank Janisch as well.
Yes.
I'm still sticking with the Crusher because I never abandon her.
Still staying strong with the kid. Interesting now, all our winner picks have some form of advantage. Where Brendan and Rachel, they have immunity idols. Frank Janisch has an extra vote, which now he's allowed to vote again. And anytime between now and the final 6, he can say, hold up, I'm going to vote twice. And no one's going to tell him it's illegal. Ooh, getting political. We're Canadian.
Yeah.
Our watches
Yeah,
are
over
not.
here we vote twice all the time,
true.
right?
All right.
The Watchers are not Canadian.
So going on to the Schmoedown tribe, we see, just getting a refresh of what everyone's idol status is. Brendan, Rachel, Jessica have idols. Frank Janisch now has an extra vote. Also, something to point out: once, unlike Real Survivor, where there would be a new idol hidden at this new tribe,
Yeah.
the simulation doesn't want to get into a position like we saw in Survivor Game Changers, where everybody except one person was safe, so they got eliminated with 0 votes against them. So until all 3 idols are used on this tribe, no new idols will be hidden.
Okay.
But once all 3 of them have been used, a new idol is going to go out into the ether and anyone can find it.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Read that question in the comments in the last episode. No, I didn't. All right. Checking in with the alliances now. Nothing seems to have changed on the Koi.
Oh. Barry Nemirov's loyalty went down.
Wow, it makes sense. She didn't vote with the Sassy Guild, and she has new friends. I think, Lou, you were saying that Stacy was going to break up the Sassy Guild. Maybe Perry will.
Perry, of all people.
Who knew? Well, Scary Perry.
Scary
Something
Perry.
lurking beneath the surface.
All right. Interesting now.
It's flipped.
Yeah, Mark Ellis and Tom Dagnino, still a loyalty of 8, but now Mark is more loyal to Tom, and Tom is less loyal to Mark.
The fudge.
I don't know. I would usually at this point ask one of you, why did this happen? But there's no story. I think they just both love each other equally.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
it's just that the sim won't do 0.5 values, but really they're both at a 7.5.
yeah. And then we get to our final big alliance. Perry is a level 5 loyalty here, as is everyone else. We named the Sassy Guild because they were more than a duo. Lou, what is the name of this big 5 that I'm sure will change a million times?
Here's a deep cut. The what the frush.
I don't know what you mean.
Revenge of the Nerds joke.
Oh,
It's
God.
Okay.
what the Frank, because he built this alliance.
What the
There
Frank?
we go. What the
What the Frank? What the Frank?
And what did I say before? Frank needed to build something around him because of his immunity and of his advantage. And that's exactly what he's doing. So, yeah, what
Yeah.
the Frank?
We are heading straight into the immunity challenge. And it looks like Stacy Howard has won immunity.
So this is only for the next step. This is only for the next thing, not to the end of the game.
Yeah, this is just she has just won for this vote. So Frank, you can vote for Frank this time, but now you can't vote for Stacy.
Gotcha.
Right, that could be huge for someone like Brendan Meyer. Now, if they want to bring Perry back into the Sassy Guild.
Is she too far gone though? That's the question.
That's the thing. Well, we will see when we get back to camp. Oh, I don't want to highlight. I want to just proceed. Okay. And we arrive back at camp. Usual stuff. I doubt at any point this is going to tell us Jessica Sturger has misplaced her immunity idol, so we can just yada yada through the who has immunity idols as long as this is all the same. But let's get down to the first event that's happening. And for the first time this season, Chandru Dandapani is having a minor disagreement with Jen.
And the last person you want to have an argument with is someone with an immunity. So bad move, man.
Jessica has the immunity, not
Lou.
So I guess everyone knows that she has.
This is good.
Well,
Jen, if Chandru can convince the rest of the What the Frank faction that to vote on Jen right now, Frank might even be able to keep his second vote.
That's true. And so sort of point of clarification for you and for the audience. The hidden immunity idols are, as I explained in the first episode, tiny little necklaces that were hidden on their beaches.
Okay.
Now you can tell people that you have it and be like, look at me, I have it. Or you can try to keep it a secret so that if you ever feel like you're in trouble, people will vote for you and then you can still play it, cancel their votes, and then you pretty much get to decide who goes home. For the challenges, it's the same as with the tribe challenge, where we know this person won the challenge, they are immune.
Okay, good to know.
Okay, point of clarification. Glad we're having this talk. All right, moving along. And it's Frank Janish, and he is going to bond with Tom Dagnino.
Tom Dagnino is he's planting scenes everywhere. He's trying to get the votes because in his mind he's already top 3, right? So he's playing a good game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is. And also, this is not like Tom. He's real tight with Mark Ellis, and he's tight with Coy. He could, if Frank takes his What the Frank faction and grabs Tom and the friends of Tom, they could have a super group.
Until it breaks up, but yeah, definitely.
Well, basically, you build the super group, and then you never use your second vote until it breaks up. And then you use that right before the final 6 to shoot somebody in the group.
Doesn't the extra vote only last for one tribal council, though?
No, he can use it. He only had to sacrifice his vote at the one vote, but now he can use it one time until the final 6.
Okay.
So I would use it at 7.
All right. It appears that there's some movement in the Sassy Guild.
Ooh.
She wasn't loyal anyway, guys.
Yeah.
Perry Nemiroff, she's out. She's left the alliance. Why, Soda, did she finally decide to leave? What made her finally decide, I don't need Brendan and Stacy?
I don't know. Maybe she thought it might have been time to return home to her cat. I don't know.
But this is the funny thing. They're all from the original tribe, them together, right?
Yeah.
So maybe after a while, just,
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like, it didn't gel anymore. More you advance, you found other relationships she formed somewhere else, and she just got tired of them. And as nice as she is, she's human, right? She passed on, and she decided that this group, the new group, is better for me, especially that they're more in number, right, compared to the 3-hold.
That's true. Well, it looks like there's a new alliance being formed on the Schmoedown tribe. Brendan and Chandru, they're getting back together. They had an alliance before. They broke up. They're getting back together.
They're the two youngest, correct?
I don't know how old some people are.
Marisol McKee.
But I mean, who's left? Of who's left?
Oh, well,
I'm wondering about Stacy now, because
Yeah.
if Brendan is getting buddy with someone in the Frank alliance, and Perry has left this alliance already, Stacy's value in staying in this alliance might not be as good.
but we're not going to have to worry about Stacey this episode because she has immunity and will not be going home. Back at Tribal Council, Jen just got a lot of votes at the last Tribal. Cannot vote for Stacey. A lot of movements in the alliances. Lou, who are we thinking tonight?
I'm gonna go bold. Chandru.
Oh my god.
I think him talking to other people and forming that little alliance, they might turn on him.
Soda, what about you?
I don't know. My gut, for some reason, I know it's who you two picked to win, but my gut is telling me Frank. I don't know why, but that's just as soon as I saw this list, it's just what I couldn't tell you.
He has an alliance
thinking
background.
Yeah, but when his alliances meant anything.
Fair.
He's also got extra voting power, which does mean quite a lot. I think it's Jen Sturger.
I also
Only in an alliance with Rachel, and she doesn't have an idol. I don't know if people know if Rachel has one or not, but either way, you take out Jen because she is in no other alliances.
Mm-hmm.
And for that reason, I think it's Rachel Cushing tonight. I think Rachel, we forget, she started in an alliance with everybody except Brad Gilmore, and that alliance has slowly been deteriorating. Then her and Jessica broke up. She hasn't had a lot of staying power. I think she probably thinks she's safe, but I think she might get blindsided like Roxy did. All right, let's go to La Votes.
Do the music.
All right. Oh, reminding us again who has idols. And then it's also going to tell us if Frank chooses to vote twice. It does not appear that Frank is going to be voting twice tonight.
Wow.
Because it would say Frank will vote twice if Frank had used his powers. So, everyone will go up to the voting podium. They write their things down. Christian goes and gets the vote. If anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now is the time.
Or forever hold your peace.
Ooh.
Rachel Cushing, she plays it on Jen Sturger.
Wow.
She uses... Yeah, you can play your idol for someone else. So, oh my gosh.
So she's not the villain of the game after all.
She's not. Wow.
Or maybe there's a reason behind this.
Who knows? Oh my gosh, we were all worried for Jen, and now 100% it's not going to be Jen.
I'm saying it's Chandru. It's Chandru, man.
Oh man. Let's see.
I'm leaning towards Dave's pick because, oh my god, to use it when...
No? Oh, wow. The kid uses his...
Wow.
Brendan uses his idol also. So any votes... Okay, so just set the stage. Any votes cast against Jen will not count. Any votes against Brendan will not count.
And who had the third one?
Jessica. She could still play it.
Wow. Okay, let's go.
But also, so just something to keep in mind here. Rachel, despite playing it, if you vote for Rachel, that still counts. She gave her power to Jen.
It's a risk, but it worked before, or like I say, it can backfire.
Let's see. Christian will read the vote. So Jessica's not playing her idol.
Okay.
First vote, Jen Sturger. Does not count. Second vote, Jen Sturger. Does not count.
What a twist!
Third vote, Jen
right was
Sturger.
How right was I?
Does not count.
Wow.
Fourth vote, Jen Sturger. Does not count. So that's four.
Someone really wants her off.
So that's 4 of the 11 votes canceled. There are 7 votes remaining. 4 votes canceled. Oh my god.
I have a feeling that was the What the Frank faction.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna see something interesting.
No. Could you imagine all votes but one are against Jen, and the person she voted for is the one that funny.
Often that's how these things go. But it would be weird for Rachel to have voted for Jen and then be like, here's the idol. Alright, next vote. Brendan Meyer does not count.
Wow.
The kid does not count. Third vote. Brendan Meyer does not count.
That's 7 out of 10?
Oh my god.
11?
Oh my god, this is wild.
8 votes cast, 0 votes count. 4 votes canceled for Jen, 4 votes counted for Brendan.
Like Rachel and Jen at this point? There are 2 votes?
No, it's out of 11, so there's 3 votes left.
Yes.
I
Okay.
feel so sorry for the person who gets voted out, man.
Me too. I voted 11 people voting. Someone is going to be voted out with probably 2 votes. Okay.
Let's go.
Coy Jandrew. It counts. 2 votes left, so if Coy gets 1 more vote, Coy will be the first person voted out, or the first member of the jury, and completely robbed if it's Coy, or if it's anyone, really.
Let's see.
8
Come on, bring it.
8th person voted out of the Survivor Schmoedown.
Wow.
It's Coy Jandrew. Wow. Final vote. Final vote is 0 votes for Brendan with 4 canceled, 0 votes for Jen Sturger with 4 canceled, and 3 votes for Coy. So,
I got
wow.
a scenario for you, because again, I'm the audience here.
Go ahead.
So what happens if none of the votes counted?
They vote again, but you can't vote for anyone who got an idol played on them or who has immunity.
Okay.
But everyone, so unlike the Kate situation where the people who got votes did not vote, in this situation they actually got 0 votes, so they all 11 people would vote again, but you wouldn't have time to talk about it, so it's like everyone just go write down a name. So that's, except for that one moment which we in the Survivor fan group call Advantage Get-In, where it was 0 votes because everyone was immune except for one person. There's never been a situation quite like this. This isn't. Oh my god, Coy, our man, he is. Oh, the fans are crying at home saying that Coy was robbed. Let's see these votes. Oh, Brendan Meyer. He thinks he could manage the quirky mercs better. Chandru voted for Jen, and you know what? And Coy voted for Brendan. What I think might have happened was Perry came to the Frankie bunch and said,
I like that better, the Frankie bunch.
"What were we calling it before?
The What the Frank?
What the Frank?
The Frankie bunch.
I like What the Frank.
Yeah, what the Frank? She came to What the Frank and said, "I'm no longer with the Sassy Guild, and to prove it, we're gonna vote out Brendan." But she didn't know he had an idol. Oh my god.
Except the What the Frank Guild is voting Jen.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like I thought it was as we were looking through them.
Yeah. And then Jen was a vote for Coy.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica was a vote for Jen. She really wants her out.
Oh, it was Mark. I thought this was going to be Rachel's vote. Why do Rachel and Jen vote for different people? It's weird.
I don't know. But Mark, I think just, I don't know. That's interesting. Perry voted for Jen. Rachel voted for Brendan. And Stacy voted for Coy. So it was Brendan, Stacy, and
Jen.
And Mark.
And
Mark, yeah.
No, Mark voted for Brendan. Who voted for Coy?
Oh.
I think it's Jen.
Yeah, it was Jen.
So maybe she found a new alliance.
Maybe Jen is the newest member of the Sassy Guild.
Ooh. It's like Hulk Hogan all over again when he joined the NWO. Son of a bitch!
Yeah, Rachel voted for Brendan. Stacy voted for Coy. Tom, he voted with both of his friends, Coy and Mark, to vote out Brendan. So I think actually what happened here was Tom and the friends of Tom got half of What the Frank and said, we'll vote for Brendan. The rest of you vote for Jen. And then if one of them plays an idol, the other one will go home. But in their knowing, I think Tom went to Rachel and said, here's what we're doing. We're voting for Jen and Brendan.
And she voted for Brendan, tying the vote, and played her idol on Jen, guaranteeing the double cross, basically.
I think she thought, I'm going to save Jen from the tie. Brendan will go home. And then she didn't know Brendan had an idol. So Coy, out of nowhere, gets eliminated. Oh my gosh. This is exciting. First member of the jury. He is going to be bitter.
Yeah,
Or you know what? If it's Coy, I think you probably just appreciate the gameplay. He doesn't seem like someone who gets in a dump for like 3 weeks in a row. So no, I think you probably vote for the person who actually engineered it if they're in the top 3.
We'll talk more about who Coy is going to vote for at the final tribal council, but keep this in mind. Wow. All right. Does anyone need to go pee?
Nope.
Okay, perfect.
leave that in.
All right. So
Oh wait. No.
after, sorry, go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, who was the third vote for Coy?
It was Jen.
Ah, yes, okay.
Jen, honorary Sassy Guild.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we return to the Schmoedown tribe after an explosive tribal where a lot of people probably have questions for Rachel. Why did you play your idol on Jen? A lot of people have questions for Brendan. Mm-hmm. Why didn't you tell me you had an idol? And you know who actually made out the best here? Jessica and Frank. Because now they have the only advantages in the game. Ooh. Jessica still has her idol. Frank has that extra vote.
And they're on the biggest alliance.
But that alliance did just shrink because Coy was in What the Frank.
Mm-hmm.
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 Oh my goodness.
Yeah, what the Frank? Come on.
All right. Let's just check in with this
side. 3 people have made enemies out of Coy now.
It's true. So, resetting the advantages, Frank and Jessica have the extra vote and immunity idol, respectively. In terms of alliances, Stacy and Brendan are still tight.
Stacy's a bit more loyal than Brendan. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, she was, if you remember back on when they were on separate tribes, Stacy was still loyal, the most loyal person to the Sassy Guild. So she's just a caring person in this game. Interesting. I'll be interested to see if they do officially bring Jen in, or if they just used her for one vote.
I think Brendan did tell Stacy about his idol, and he was about to play it, so it wasn't too much information to give her, but kept her loyalty by saying, like, let's vote together, and I'll save myself.
Also, what a terrible time to leave the alliance it was for Perry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're looking at Mark and Tom. Now they're both level 7. They finally found a manageable loyalty level. All right. And then we have What the Frank. Chandru.
Dropping.
He is a 4, but remember, he is, and that should be the next alliance. He is in this alliance with Brendan Meyer. So maybe he's like, I found a new friend.
But he's
not so much. Yeah.
loyal to 4. It's like he's loyal to everyone a bit, but you can still buy him.
Man, I'm sticking with Brendan Meyer as my winner pick, especially after, like, he kind of engineered getting Koi out. But Chandru also, for someone who we thought was going to be like a massive villain this season, playing a very under the radar game, I would not be surprised if Chandru wins. Rachel, after playing her immunity idol, wins immunity. She is not going home this week. Not this week. This tribal council. All right. Let's head back to camp and see, now that one of the more obvious targets in Rachel Cushing you can't vote for, what do the alliances look like? Excuse me.
So now that the idols have been used, can they be found again?
Once Jessica plays hers, another one will get put into circulation.
Okay.
In the regular game, like with the real people, when one is played, another one goes back into circulation. And just to reiterate again, you can play the idol up until the final 5.
Okay.
But the simulation never wants to get into a situation where the matrix will crash. So it's like, once all the idols are found, then we'll get new idols.
All right.
So once Jessica uses hers, then new idols will be put in. But Frank still has his extra vote. Jessica has her idol.
Okay, what's happening?
And Jessica and Stacy have a major fight. Lou, what are they fighting about?
Who's the sassiest?
Ooh.
Because Stacy says you're not sassy, and Jessica says yes I am. But then like we had a team called Sassy, and you were not on the sassy one. So, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't underestimate Jessica because her along with her sister, they were both attended Florida State University, so they've definitely got that going for them. And Jessica, people don't know this, but she actually works behind the scenes at AEW, so she has to have picked up some talk from the boys and the girls on the crew, right?
Well, we know Jen does. We're not sure about Jessica's employment.
No, Jen's on air. Jessica's behind.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. All right, moving on to the alliances now. They're a real Ross and Rachel. Chandru and Brendan, their alliance is dissolved.
They're on a break again.
These crazy kids, I hope they make it work someday. Okay, let's get to tribal council.
Yeah, let's hope they just don't get drunk and get married in Vegas.
Anything can happen. All right, we are at the final 10 now. Cannot vote for Rachel. Who do we think, Daniel, is going to be going home tonight?
I do think it's Jen. We got most of the What the Frank faction is still around. Jessica is for sure pushing for it, and she had 4 votes last round, and she's not going to have immunity played on her again.
That would be crazy if Jessica gave immunity to Jen, but I can't see Jen being saved twice, so I think you're right. Lou, what about you?
Brendan Meyer.
Yeah.
The other one with all the votes.
Yeah. What about you? Soda, are you agreeing with Lou?
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Lou on this one.
So we think one of the people who got 4 votes at the last tribal will be voted out. Let's see who's right, or if it's randomly
Tom.
Perry. Easily the safest person.
Yeah.
Or like Mark Ellis.
Or
Yeah.
Frank.
All right. Jessica and Frank have their...
Ooh.
Frank is going to vote twice. So I think Daniel might be right. Jessica might have... Oh, but something to consider. You're saying, Daniel, that Jessica may have come and pushed for Jen. Her and Stacy just had a major fight. So could it be Stacy? Let's just get to the votes. There's too much going on. It could be... I think it's Jen, Brendan, or Stacy.
It would make sense if it's Stacy, right? Well, like, what's the end game? You just eliminated a small, faction. I don't think it's Stacy. It doesn't make sense.
All right. If anyone, meaning Jessica, has an immunity idol and wants to play it, now is the time. No one stands up. Guess what, guys? All the votes are going to count.
Okay.
Even Frank's second vote. First vote goes to Jessica. So, if she gets the majority of the votes, she will go home with the idol in her pocket.
You get to keep it in that case?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you sell it on eBay, and collectors will pay a pretty penny for it. The next vote goes to...
I've got a feeling that's happened.
A lot. Frank Janish is the next vote. Looks like what the Frank is being targeted. Oh my god, this...
It's okay. It can't end 5-5 at the moment, and what the Frank has 5 votes.
Yeah, but here's a vote for Jen. So that's 1 vote Frank, 1 vote Jen, 1 vote Jessica. The Shimoda, there's got to be some high level strategy going on here, because these are some split tribes.
Mm-hmm.
Next vote, Jessica.
Okay.
Jessica Sturger, 2 votes Jessica, 1 vote Frank, 1 vote Jen, 7 votes left. Frank Janish, that's 2 votes Frank, 2 votes Jessica, 1 vote Jen. Frank Janish.
Wow.
That's 3 votes Frank,
So
2
votes
votes
like I was
Jessica.
around too early.
1 vote Jen.
Holy shit.
But those numbers are about to change, because here's a vote for Jen Sturger. So that's 3 votes Frank, 2 votes Jen, 2 votes Jessica, 4 votes left.
Damn.
Jen Sturger, 3 votes Frank, 3 votes Jen, 2 votes Jessica.
Tied up.
Not for long. Jen, sorry.
Wow. So 1 more vote for her, and that's it.
That's it. That'll be packing.
Pretty
If
much,
it's if it's Jen, 4 votes Jen, 3 votes Frank, 2 votes Jessica. My God, how could we make a tie again? Jessica Sturger. So that's 4 votes Jen, 3 votes Frank, 3 votes Jessica. Jessica is freaking out.
on?
She's like, I should have played my idol. I should have played my idol.
Although if she survives it and gets to play it in the next voting round, that's
Still
strong.
ice in Jessica's veins.
Definitely.
The 9th person voted out of the Survivor Schmoedown,
It's Jen.
Jen Sturger. That's 5 votes for Jen, 3 votes for Frank, and 3 votes for Jessica.
Wait, so that means technically, probably Jen only got 3 votes or 4 votes, but
Yeah.
Frankie Numbers
Yeah.
uses extra votes. Unless he betrayed Jessica.
We'll see, but
I'm sure it's going to be all of What the Frank plus maybe Tom.
Well, no, I think
Brendan?
it's just what the Frank, and Frank voted twice.
Except, oh yeah.
That's 5 because Coy went home.
True.
So let's check this out. But Jen, the tribe has spoken. Brendan voted for Jessica. Chandru voted for Jen. Frank voted for Jen. Yeah, it looks like it's exactly as Daniel predicted it, with the What the Frank group not knowing who to vote for, or What the Frank group deciding everything. Mark Ellis is going to vote for Frank Janish, along with Rachel Cushing.
Wow.
Rachel Cushing is also going to vote for Frank.
That's weird.
Playing our cards a little soon there.
Yeah,
It probably got revealed he had two votes.
Maybe.
Stacy votes for Jessica, so it looks like the Sassy Guild went after Jessica. The Tom Dagnino and Mark Ellis, Best Friends Forever group, went after Frank, and they grabbed Rachel and said, "Let's go for." If they had, and then the What the Frank group, they decided if those two factions on the outside, those two separate groups, if they were able to come together, they would have had the votes. It would have been 6-5, but they had two different targets. All right. With the departure of Jen Sturger, the tribe returns to camp. Let's see what the alliances are shaken out to be. The only special power remaining in the game for this time, now that Frank has voted twice, is Jessica's hidden immunity idol. Dan was right, it's a good thing she didn't play it, but she is probably shaken from getting all those votes at the last tribal. All right, moving on to our alliance.
She was safe because her team was all voting for someone else, but now she should probably play it.
Yeah, especially now that the big group has been exposed as the big group. Hopefully these outsiders can come together. And speaking of the outsiders, let's look at their alliances. What remains of the Sassy Guild has both gone to a level 6 alliance. So Brendan, he's over Perry. He doesn't need her in the alliance. He's all about him and Stacy till the end. And Tom Dagnino, consistently the most loyal person on the island.
No kidding.
Ever since Coy got voted out, he's all about Mark Ellis. That's his one best friend. But really, this group, these 4 people who are in 2 groups of 2 need to pick up Rachel Cushing, or I think the What the Frank group is going to take them out.
Unless they implode. We've seen it happen multiple times.
All right. Speaking of the What the Frank group,
They're still together.
they're still together, but
Frank
Stacy.
actually went up.
Yeah, sorry. Perry and Frank, they're more loyal to this group. They're feeling good. But Chandru is still the least loyal person to this alliance, even after him and the kid broke up. To win immunity. And it's Rachel Cushing is going to win
Again.
immunity again.
Second one in a row.
She's finding idols. She's winning immunity. I think, Rachel Cushing, despite being the villain, may be the front runner to win this game.
Yeah, she's definitely making a case when it comes to gameplay. Not gameplay, but worth finding idols, like said, be some challenges. She's not made a lot of friends per se, a lot of arguments, but she can definitely put the case on. I deserve it because of my gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now that one of the obvious targets, again, you can't vote for Rachel. Let's see if those 2 pairs decide to hook up and become friends. Again, Jessica has the idol. And an event is Perry Nemiroff is impressing the rest of the team.
Right on.
Soda, what is she doing that is so impressive?
Showing them how to cook eggs in a microwave like she did that one time for Christian.
There's no microwaves.
That you know of.
No, that was
We only see what's on camera. There's a whole lot going on behind.
that was the impressive thing. Perry actually built a microwave out of bamboo and cooked eggs in it.
And if the professor in Gilligan's Island can build a radio out of coconuts.
That's impressive.
I say they had an exhibition match Jurassic Park and she won.
Who's writing the questions, though?
The kid.
The voices in their heads.
All right. Next up, Frank and Tom Dagnino. They're going to bond slightly. So just a little bit, but it's a lasting impact. So this is something that's going to bond them. Daniel. Oh, sorry, Lou, you have an opinion. Go ahead.
Again, it goes to the point I was saying before. He's planting seeds everywhere. He has the case to make with bond-wise. Like his social game might be the reason why he wins. Because again, he's the only one who talks to so many people and have little bonds here and there that might actually accumulate to him winning.
Yeah, Frank, day one, he got in a big fight with Rachel Cushing. And since then, he's been wheeling and dealing and making these bonds. I think you're right.
And I mean, you have to with Rachel winning immunity again. If you're Frank, that's your biggest adversary. So you just go after anybody who isn't straight allied with her.
Yeah, and I think you grab Tom, he gets Mark, and you say we're gonna vote out Stacy or Brendan.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. Something is happening with Frank and his friends. I was forgetting what we call this. Chandru leaves the alliance. Daniel, why can't Chandru stay in an alliance?
I don't know. I mean, it might be because he's the biggest villain on the show. He just hasn't been voted out because he's the biggest villain on the show. It's going to be easy to convince a small group of people to vote Chandru out. It's easier to knock out the less or the more savory people.
See, I think he got kicked out because a lot of people were sick and tired of him doing that goddamn floss.
All right, we're gonna
It with the idol.
and that's why he left. He found Jessica's idol, started flossing with it, and she's like, "Get out of here!"
That sounds so fucking dirty.
You know, I'm gonna bleep that. Back in. All right, we're at Tribal Council. Jessica, the only person with an idol, no other special powers in play. Chandru just left Frank and friends, but Frank was impressing, bonding with Tom Dagnino. Soda, who are we thinking tonight? Cannot vote for Rachel Cushing.
No, of course I wouldn't. She's my pick to win.
Well, also she has immunity.
Tom.
Okay, Tom. Was it a fake bond? Lou.
I think it's not a fake bond, but I think that's why Frank Janish might be the one who gets voted off because Chandru dropped out. And Chandru dropped out of the alliance. Frank is making a small bond. I think it's Frank. I think he's in trouble.
See,
his alliance got cut down, right? So
I actually think that Chandru in the alliance, but Frank, he picks up Tom Dagnino, and the numbers say get rid of Tom's other ally, he becomes your ally. I think this is Mark Ellis's night.
Okay.
Daniel, what about you?
I don't know about that. Tom is fiercely loyal to Mark, and since he has not joined the alliance yet, I'm not sure you throw out Mark. I think you were right earlier, and they target Stacy.
Let's get to the votes. Jessica, she's got that idol. Everyone goes to vote. If you have an idol, now is the time to play it. Nobody is playing their idol. All the votes are going to count.
All right.
I'll read the votes. 5 votes send you home. First vote, Stacy Howard.
Ooh.
Second vote, Frank Janish.
Mm-hmm.
That's 1 vote Frank, 1 vote Stacy. That Stacy Howard. That's 2 votes Stacy Howard, 1 vote Frank. Cut. How bad?
Yeah, like usually when you say something, the screen's not actually there yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's taking like 15 seconds now.
It's sounding 15.
It isn't too much of a problem because when it switches over, we usually see the top 2, and you've announced the first one, and then
Okay.
like,
But you're still doing the thing where we're seeing who's next. That's still happening.
Yeah. Sometimes I just can't help it with the spacing and how much it scrolls down. Okay. So hard cut back in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is gonna be a fun one for me. All right. Next vote, Frank Janish. So that's 2 votes Frank, 2 votes Stacy, 5 votes left. Stacy Howard. That's 3 votes Stacy, 2 votes Frank, 4 votes left. Frank Janish.
Shit.
That's 3 votes Frank, 3 votes Stacy, 3 votes left. I think maybe the people not in the Frank Alliance, I think they got together.
Yep.
it's gonna come down to Mark Ellis.
I think you're right. All right. Fourth vote. Next vote. Stacy Howard.
That's the entire alliance plus Tom.
2 votes left, so if Stacy gets 1 more vote, she will go home. Tenth player eliminated is Stacy Howard.
Wow.
You called it then.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, it's just numbers, right?
Yeah,
What?
but it's still surprising. And the moves are done at this stage of the game, right? So
It is interesting because you would think that the group that has only 3 votes would have been the 3 votes for Frank, but the people who voted, but Frank and his friends, they obviously didn't vote for Frank. So What the Frank picked up 3 outsiders to vote out Stacy.
Wow.
Let's see who they
I
were.
do think it's only technically 1 outsider, though, because Frank made a lasting impression with Tom, and Tom is allied with Mark, and so it's just a...
ooh, Shandru going against Frank.
He just left that alliance, and isn't it? It's beautiful seeing Brendan and Chandru working together again.
But they're not alike.
Not a lot. They're on a break, technically.
The kids aren't all right.
All right. Then we have. Yep, here is Frank and Jessica voting for Stacy.
Mm-hmm.
And Daniel, I think, was right.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's Mark Ellis. Perry also voting for Stacy.
This is the smartest move Frank has made in the entire competition.
And
Teaming up with Tom Dagnino. I can't believe I just said those words. Go on, Dave.
Rachel Cushing, instead of taking out her sworn enemy since day one in Frank Janish, is aligning with Frank Janish to take out Stacy.
There's some logic to that. You don't want to play your cards right away, and if you see something leaning towards Stacy, you jump on that.
Mm-hmm. So that's, oh my goodness, Tom Dagnino. Obviously, you're right, man. I still think Brendan Meyer is going to pull it out, but Lou switching to Frank as his winner pick may have been the smartest thing Lou's ever done since forming this company.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay. So we are at our final 8. Anyone looking at the side of the screen who sees that it says episode 10 part 2, that's just because this is based on a real season of the show, and this was a 2-hour episode.
Okay.
Nothing changes. Okay. Get a look at the status of the tribe. Jessica has the idol still, and we're running out of time for her to play it because she can only play it until the final 5, and she has had this idol since the first day of the swap.
Really?
Now, question for you guys: does she do like Rachel did and give it to someone and do a power move?
I think her best move is to ride it out with Frank and Perry for as long as they can, and then use her idol to get Frank out. Because if we are positing that Frank is the kind of leader, the de facto leader of this group, I think she's got to use it to take him out.
You know what? You know who Frank is? You know who Frank is? He's the Boston Rob of the season.
He is the Boston Rob of this season.
But I also think you can't turn on Frank until Rachel's gone.
I think you say I don't know. I think you could. I think Jessica was the last person to leave the alliance of Rachel with Rachel, so they may still have some kind of bond.
Maybe.
All right, let's check out the alliances and see if maybe anything that we're saying matters, or maybe it doesn't.
All right.
So we see here the only 2 official alliances now that the kid is by himself.
This is interesting though for the alliance of Perry, Jessica, and Frank. Perry went up, Jessica like stayed at 5, and Frank is at 6. So it's really not like balanced out. Jessica might leave the alliance now.
Yeah, maybe. But you know who's not leaving any alliance? Mark and Tom, the 2 best friends. They have
The 2 best friends that anybody could have.
they didn't start on the same tribe. They met on the swap tribe and became best friends. Okay. So this is Brendan Meyer wins immunity.
Right on.
He needed this. He really needed this because he just lost his number 1 ally in Stacy. All right, now that Brendan can't be taken out, let's check back in with the tribe.
I love how the word puzzle to win immunity was invulnerable.
You know, the kid also good at spelling, it turns out. Alright, so we're back at the Tribe Beach. Jessica still has that idol. Frank and Mark, they're now going to bond slightly.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Frank's the Boston Rob. He makes his little connections and pulls the strings.
He is, for the uninitiated, Boston Rob is the player who has played on the most seasons of Survivor.
Okay, because I was like, who the hell is this Boston Rob?
And he is very much he's a godfather archetype where you don't cross him, you don't cross the family.
Gotcha.
He'll tell you in your face, you're the next one voted out, and there's nothing you can do, you know?
Yeah. Well, only, this is like super nerdy, but only on the even number seasons he plays does that happen. On the odd number seasons he plays, it does not go well for him.
Well, if you don't count when he played in All Stars and his wife won, but that's. And we lost. Yeah, we lost Dave. Yay!
I'm back. The Boston Rob takes were too hot.
Needed your computer.
Yeah. Okay. Frank Janish, good for him. Boston Rob, all those comparisons. There were no technical difficulties. I'm sorry, Boston Rob, if I said something that was offensive to you. And now, Brendan Meyer and Jessica Sturger have a minor disagreement.
Which is interesting because he has immunity and Jessica has the idol. So, I mean, it's not gonna affect this vote, but it might have a long effect on the long run.
Yeah.
And you know what? She is being protected right now by Frank and his group, and Frank's going out there doing work. I don't know who they target to get at the kid because he's immune, but we'll see what happens here.
I think I know, but I'll wait till council to mention it.
Yeah, and I think they're just gonna go after Chandru.
Well, what actually might have happened here, guys?
Huh.
All right.
The disagreement, they may have just been having a conversation, and Jessica told Brendan, hey, I think I'm going to leave my alliance. And he said, that's a terrible idea.
You don't leave your friends.
And she said, I'm going to do it anyway.
I have immunity. I'm safe.
But
they imploded. They really imploded. And I called it. She's going to drop. Frank, it's not looking good for Frank and Perry.
He's still got a number of loyalists. He's been schmoozing up to Tom and now Mark. That's still a quad on top of if Jessica plays her immunity now. That is very good for this team. Actually.
Yeah. Man, I think this could be Frank's night now that Jessica has left.
Maybe.
All right. And speaking of which, we get to tribal. You cannot vote for Brendan Meyer. You know what? I actually think now is the time to take out Rachel Cushing.
Yes,
she won.
And that's what I was going to bring up when we got here.
She won back-to-back immunity challenges, and she's a free agent. I think now you clip her.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's Rachel.
She doesn't have allies, except for, she used to be allied with Jessica, who has just left. We're just going to call it the coalition now, because it is just two people in an alliance and two people who are in agreement with Frank.
So we have the coalition. So the two alliances on the table. We have the coalition, which is Frank and Perry. And then we have the two best friends that anyone could ever have, Mark and Tom. And then we have 4 free agents.
And I gotta say, Tom, good for Tom, man. He's the only one from the managers tribe left, and he's still hanging on, still finding a way. It's so Tom in real life. He would be the only one of his tribe to survive and push on.
All right.
Despite how terribly he's been playing, which kind of mirrors his Schmoedown career, he's still around for some
Come
reason.
on.
Hey.
Come on.
Hey, man. Anyone else remember RMB versus Tom Neglino?
Oh, God. No, please no.
All right.
I think there was 3 answered questions in that match.
Something like that. So, Lou, you're giving Tom all the kudos, but who you think is also Rachel going home tonight?
Yeah, I think it's Rachel.
What about you, Soda? This is your winner pick, so I doubt you're going to side with us.
Yeah, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go with Chandru this time.
Chandru, the perpetual lever of alliances.
Yep.
I'm excited. It'd be crazy if Jessica played her idol for someone tonight,
God.
or herself.
For Rachel. Ba-bum.
If anyone... All right, so everyone's going to go to vote. If anyone has the idol, now is the time to play it. And actually, what's going to happen... Jessica plays her idol for Mark Ellis.
What?
Well, I was right that she put on someone else, but I was just wrong on the person.
Well, Soda, since you said she was probably going to play it, I'm going to let you just... Why Mark Ellis?
You know what? Probably because he's the most pure one of them all.
You know, I have a simpler explanation. Even Mark Ellis didn't know. I think she just wants to shake up things because they're in a two-way alliance, and she probably just wants to fuck up everyone's plans.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah.
If the coalition and the 2 best friends that anybody could have made it through this round into the final 7, that is a group of 4 voting on 7 people. It's impossible to beat them in any mathematical sense. And
Mathematical,
so you
but
play it on the last person to join Frank, and that was Mark Ellis.
I think what I had said, I think this might be Jessica assassinating Frank. I think maybe she knew some votes were going on Mark, and she said, I'm going to vote for Frank. Oh my god, guys. I love when idols are played.
All right, let's see what let's see the
And this
rundown.
means we get a new idol.
It does. But before we get an idol, Chandru is going to get a vote. The one time nobody said it's Chandru.
Yeah, Soda did.
I did.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you did.
Pay attention.
The Oracle has returned. Second vote,
Ah, yes.
Rachel Cushing. And I kind of spoiled with the head.
Yep.
That's Rachel Cushing, 2 votes. 2 votes Rachel, 1 vote Chandru. 5 votes left. 5 votes send you home.
This has got to be Frank and Perry. And let's see if he's got the
Wow. Okay.
coalition back together.
Yeah, we called it.
It's 4. But interesting enough, Jessica wasted her idol.
Yeah.
Because if always in these simulations and Real Survivor, if there are votes that are eliminated, they're read first. So Jessica played her idol for nothing. We can talk about that when we get back to camp, but I don't know what happened there. Rachel Cushing.
It's because she had the falling out with Rachel, so she wouldn't play it on her.
I know what happened. She probably got misled to be able to just like put it out there, right? Because they knew she had it, so they plotted against a false vote for her to just put it on.
So that's 4 votes for Rachel Cushing, 3 votes for Chandru, or 1 vote for Chandru, 3 votes left. 1 more vote sends Rachel home. So you don't have to watch this next part if you don't want to.
I could see the very top of the next line, so I already knew.
So I'll edit that out. Rachel Cushing, the tribe has spoken.
To quote the great Eric Cartman, "Screw guys, I'm going home."
That's 7 votes.
Rachel would never say that.
Yeah, come on, Soda. Well, to be fair,
No, not to you guys. I'm saying that to the rest of the players.
in
Yeah,
this,
and
yeah.
I don't believe Rachel would ever be that mean.
Also, let's remember, in this alternate reality, Rachel Cushing is the villain of the season.
Yeah, that is anything is possible.
But this was a 7-1 vote. The rest of the tribe all got together and voted out Rachel.
You have to, because she wins immunity.
Yeah.
She knows how to find hidden hidden immunities. There's one coming up next episode, right? So you want to eliminate the person who found it already and is able to get other ways
It's just
of
like
Yeah.
a battle royal. You always try to zone in on the one that you perceive to be the biggest threat, and in that case, usually it's the biggest person in the
Yeah,
ring.
yeah.
This one is the
6
one that-
guys always got to toss the Big Show out of the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Rachel Cushing, great. She gave us great TV, great Survivor player. If there's an All-Star, she's definitely going to be asked back.
Yeah.
Okay, we're at the final 7 now. Just a quick thing here. Tom Dagnino, good for him. Still here. Last manager standing. He always said, when the smoke clears, Finstock will be there.
Yep. It's that damn mask.
Mostly because he set the fire.
All right, so we are on to the Schmoedown tribe. So now, there is an idol currently hidden. Usually they are hidden in similar spots. So people like Rachel, Jessica, Brendan have a much higher chance of finding another one. Because they know what they're looking for. Let's look what's happening with the 2 best friends.
It dropped again.
I don't know why they 7-8, 7-8, 7-8. These guys.
Tom can be annoying sometimes. Mark has, he has a good patience, but when he hits a fuse, he hits a fuse. So there's a bit of there's a bit of a headbutting, but he still doesn't trust anyone else but Tom.
Once
But he's
Ellis
annoying.
starts quivering, you better watch out.
And now the newly named coalition is now as loyal as the 2 best friends.
More loyal.
Perry, despite being someone who walked out on the original Sassy Guild, is now the most loyal person on this tribe. I like that. I like this group here. It's a good, solid group of 4, but you gotta think either these 4 should team up, or I think they're gonna get picked off if they try to fight each other.
See, I think they're slightly teamed. They're just trying to not look like they're a 4-person group, because that would put targets on all of their backs.
Yeah. And now we get to the reward challenge, and probably the most important reward challenge of every season. This is the loved ones reward, where your loved ones, where the players' loved ones come out and visit them on the island, but you have to win their love.
So who's Frank's, Brad?
Well, I'm not here. We're not here casting who everyone's loved one is. Brad is on. If you remember, Brad's on the pre-jury trip in Vanuatu or something.
Fair enough.
But interesting enough, Frank Janich wins, and he selects his new best friend Perry, one of the best friends Tom, and instead of selecting the other best friend, he grabs one of the free agents, Chandru.
Huh.
Didn't see that coming.
No.
No love for his other people.
Do you just quickly, guys, do we think that the 4 people who did not get picked are going to be upset with Frank over this?
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially, I think, if you're Mark Ellis.
I think this is great
I
time
think,
to go.
yeah, I think Mark is going to be a little upset. Brendan is going to be very upset because Chandru left Frank's alliance and he left Brendan's alliance. They could have made a mutual enemy out of Chandru by bringing Brendan into the fold, but maybe Frank expects one of his group to finally win immunity in this next challenge, and so they're going to target Brendan.
Maybe.
Now, the interesting thing also is usually we won't see this until after the immunity challenge, but these 4 will also be taken with their loved ones to a separate location to have their barbecue. The other 4 people, they don't get to see their loved ones, and all they are is they're back at camp. I think one of those 4 people is going to find the idol, mark my words.
Oh, true.
Because they just have free time on their hands, right?
They just got free time. The camera crew's not even there.
Well, I mean, half of it probably is.
Mark Ellis, furious with not being chosen to see his dog on the loved one's visit.
Old Molly.
Old Molly. He goes out there and he wins immunity despite what they say. So you cannot vote for Mark Ellis, the best friend that was not selected. I think this is either Jessica or Brendan's time.
I'm going Frank.
Yeah, me too. I don't want to admit it, but I think Frank's in trouble because of the choices.
Yeah.
I think Brendan's being taken out right now.
Let's see. Let's go back to camp, see if one of those 4 was able to find the hidden immunity idol.
No.
No one found the idol, and not only that, Brendan and Chandru, will they, won't they, they're bonding slightly.
What the hell?
These two.
Strongly, bro.
They bonded through time apart. Because
fair-
Andrew was brought to see his loved one for the barbecue, and then he came back, and after some time apart, Brendan and Chandru have finally realized that their similarities are a lot more than their differences.
Wait a minute. You're a champion? I'm a champion.
Yeah?
I don't know what you got till it's gone.
In their sophomore years.
What you up to?
Jessica is impressing the rest of the tribe after leaving the Frankenfurter coalition. Jessica,
Time it's a different name.
hey, you know what the funniest part of the joke is, Soda? When you call attention to the joke.
Shut up.
But
To be
Soda,
fair, that's exactly how puns work, so...
fair. Soda, what's Jessica doing? Is it just that she is still existing? And she is the joke cast member?
Actually, yeah. I think what's impressing them is that they all thought she was a figment of everybody's imagination, and she's actually still there.
It's like, guys, I wasn't even supposed to be on the season.
Yeah. I'm not even supposed to exist.
I think she smuggled in some smokables under that nice toque of hers, and everybody on the island was having some fun while the cameras were gone.
And for all you American audiences, a toque is a beanie.
We gotta tell them.
Because we assume, but we're Canadian.
Yeah, but toque is the right way.
Yeah. Chandru and Tom Dagnino have a small fight. Lou, what are they fighting about?
Chandru keeps on flossing, and at one point, Tom Benning just takes off his shirt and yells at him.
I like that Chandru's entire character arc this season has been reduced to flossing. That has been brought up.
Yeah, on another note, I think they just couldn't decide on, like, how well done the steaks should be. Like, one of them wants rare, one of them wants well cooked. They had a fight at the barbecue.
I'm sorry.
Get it, Andrew. Flossing is popular. But there's other dance moves out there.
We know two things about Chandru.
Yeah, like the
he
Charles
flosses, and he leaves alliances. Oh! We have a new alliance forming.
Interesting.
The best friends have found a new best friend in Perry Nemiroff.
Oh.
But so Frank is really fucked.
Yep.
Or this is the bridge that Frank needed.
But Tom Danino went down in loyalty.
Well, he
Maybe
might.
it was against his will. Maybe Mark kind of wanted and kept forcing or pushing, and Tom at one point just said, okay.
said we need numbers here if we're going to be the best friends, and to do that we need Perry. And Tom was like, but we could just be best friends together.
Well, let's find out how well this works out for Frank then.
Yeah, I go to tribal council, and you know what? Actually, I think it's Chandru's time. He just got in that fight with Tom Dagnino.
Yeah. I'm going to stick with Frank, though.
I think Frank too. I don't want to say it, but I think it's Frank.
I'm gonna go with Jessica.
Oh.
Yeah, Jessica, you know what? She does not have that idol anymore. She played it on Mark last time, and she left her alliance. It could be her. Mm-hmm. Guys, for the first time in what seems like forever, there are no idols and no advantages in play at this tribal council. No one's voting twice. No one's canceling votes. Only thing is you cannot vote for Mark Ellis because he won the immunity challenge. Everyone votes, and nobody stands. First vote, Chandru. Second vote. We are apparently passing around the Oracle abilities today because the second vote is for Jessica.
Wow.
Third vote. Jessica.
I think Daniel's called it.
My picks have been pretty solid so far.
That's true.
And this doesn't look good.
Nope.
That's
And-
3 votes.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm probably the one who sucked the most right now.
One more vote for Jessica, and she's gone.
One more vote for Jessica will send her home. Chandru.
Oh.
That's 3 votes Jessica, 2 votes Chandru, 2 votes left. That's another vote for Chandru.
This is going to be interesting.
We got a
So
nail biter
that's-
on our hand, folks.
If it's
So
one of
that's-
them, they go home. If it's not one of them, it's a tied up vote.
And then we have another tie, but there will not be a rock draw because there will be an odd number of people voting. Okay. The 12th person voted out of Survivor Schmoedown is...
Chandru.
Didn't call your shot correctly, my man. It's Jessica.
Oh, wow.
Wow. I mean, she's beginning in the fights. She left her alliance. She kind of put herself in this position.
I think no. The real crime here is playing her idol on Mark Ellis a couple rounds ago.
Mm-hmm.
She was
She
trying to make
just-
friends, though.
And
Yeah.
She got played. You honestly, if your theory is right, she got played by Brendan, and that actually saved Chandru.
Brendan, long play, saving Chandru, his off again, on again girlfriend.
That's his new nickname.
I
Myra.
do disagree with Lou. I think Jessica just crossed Frank, and he had more important things. He needed to get Rachel out a round ago, but he doesn't forget either.
Well,
Again,
let's
it sounds like Boston Rob.
let's check out these
I think
votes.
Frank Janish is going to have a big problem with us keep calling him Boston Rob.
Fine, Chicago.
Chicago.
Okay. So it was actually the off again, on again pair of Brendan and Chandru voted for Jen.
Jess.
Jessica. Sorry, Jen's gone. Yeah, actually, Daniel. Frank.
Oh, it wasn't even. Yeah.
He forgave. He forgave and he forgot.
Maybe I forgot.
Ah. But he's going to vote for Chandru. And then only the two best friends voted for Jessica. Perry still voted for Chandru.
So the coalition voted for Chandru. The best friends voted for Jessica. And
the best friends picked up Brendan and they picked up Chandru. You got to imagine Perry Nemiroff is going to leave this alliance after they blindsided her.
After Jessica's elimination, we are left with only 6 players as we head into the finale. Will the friendship be able to ride it all the way to the top? Will Frank keep his stranglehold on the game, or will Chandru floss his way to the end? Only time can tell, and you can find out tomorrow on the exciting conclusion of the SCHMOEVIVOR series.